Hello, friends. Oh, I'm so excited. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous Friday here in Pennsylvania. And, I originally planned on making this video in my office, but it is just so nice out. So I headed outside. So here we are. I am so excited that you're on right now. Thank you so much for listening in. Today, we're going to be covering intentionality and living with more intention and purpose and less out of habit. All right. So I really hope this is helpful for you. This is actually the start of a 5-week series that I'm going to be doing on living with intention. So today, we're going to cover the basics. We're going to take the first step to living the life that we want. So if you have some paper and a pencil, I encourage you to grab it because we are going to be writing some things down today. So let's do this. I'm super excited to get going. Over the last few years, I have been blessed to really discover that I have some passions in areas that I didn't realize. And one of those areas is helping other women to live the life that they truly want. Maybe the life that they used to dream about but have given up on. And I want to help us all get there, you guys. It is possible. And I talk to women all the time who either they lack confidence in making bold choices or taking risks, or they're overcome by doubt, or they let society's opinions have control over them, or they fall victim to the circumstances of their life rather than being proactive and being able to have control over their emotions when things happen. And you guys, I really, really believe that the root of all this is that we are not living with enough intention. We're not intentionally growing. We're not intentionally making ourselves better people. We can't stop learning just because we're growing and because we're getting old, right? Learning is not just for kids. I want to share with you a quote that I found in this book, and I just love it. It says, "We internalize the limits of society. We grow up and we grow old. And what is worse is we become small people." You guys, for one, I know I don't want to become small. I am entering into my 40s and I want to be bigger and bolder than ever, right? There's so much life out there and I want to just grab it and live it to the full capacity. I believe it is time for all of us to be more intentional and living less out of habit, not just going through our days and doing the things we've always done just because we've always done them, right? It's time to stop. It's time to reevaluate who we are, where we're at, and who we want to be and where we want to be in the future, and start making decisions that are going to actually get us there one step at a time. So I think the most important thing is to first define, what do you want? What do you need to live a more fulfilled life? A life where contentment and joy are the norm, not where they are these idealistic possibilities that just seem out of our grasp. So we're going to define what we want. And I'm going to share with you my defining statements of intentionality, but I want to share with you first kind of where I'm coming from and where this journey started for me. So about 3 years ago is when this all started. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time, and I loved being a stay-at-home mom. Being a mom has brought me so much joy. But I will be honest, I was at this point where I felt like there was something missing. I loved being home with my daughter, but I was missing the drive that I used to have. I was missing this passion of every morning waking up and just being excited about what the day held for me. And my daughter was also going into kindergarten, and so I was really at this crossroads of where was I going with my life? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, what is my purpose if I'm not being a mom all day? And so shortly after this is when I started my journey as an entrepreneur. And at the exact same time, I also started my journey in faith. And two huge, huge parts of my life now, and they both started exactly at the same time, and I believe that happened for a reason, because they have encouraged and challenged each other and made me grow in such huge ways and also small ways and everything in between. But it's really shaped who I am today. And when I started those journeys as an entrepreneur and as a follower of Christ, it really made me pause and think about where I was currently and where I wanted to be. And I came up with 3 defining statements of intention of how I wanted to start living my life. So I'm going to share those with you just to give you a perspective of where I'm coming from, but also maybe it'll help guide you on where you want to start. So my first one was that I wanted a stronger, more connected relationship with God. I felt like if I wanted to live the life that I dreamed of, that was the absolute first thing that I needed. It all was going to start there for me. So that was my first intent. Number two, I wanted to find peace and positivity in all circumstances. I wanted to stop living a life of being reactive to what was happening around me. I didn't want to be a victim. I wanted to live a life of being proactive, right? Have you ever heard the quote, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it? I love that quote, and I do absolutely believe it. But I also think there's power in being proactive, not always being reactive, right? I wanted to become the kind of person that could find gratitude and peace in everything. The kind of person who had faith that there was a plan and that all things were working towards good. So that was my intent, is to start being that person, to learn and grow and challenge myself to become that person. And then my third one is I really wanted a life that at the end of the day, every day, I felt like I lived a life of purpose and productivity. I wanted to feel thankful and grateful and just at peace with how I spent that day. So those were my three defining statements of intentionality. So that's where I want you to start. So I want you to write down, what do you want or what do you need in your life to really be fulfilled? To really take your life where you want it to go. So it's time for you to write your defining statements of intentionality. Now, yours could be similar to mine. Yours might be very different. Yours might be you want to live a healthier lifestyle, and that might include exercise or eating healthy or getting more sleep. It might be you want to be a more patient parent, a more loving spouse, a more present friend. Maybe you need to be more confident and less stressed, okay? Maybe you need to be more bold, a risk taker. Start taking some of those risks or those opportunities that are presented to you. Maybe, and I have a feeling this is a big one, you need to break some strongholds that have had power over you for way too long. For many, that's food, right? Maybe that's something that consumes you, or something you don't have control, or you feel like a loss of control when it comes to food, or spending money, or spending time on your phone. You guys, oh my gosh, I can relate to this one, and I want to tell you, I've been there, and it's something I'm still currently working on. Phones are awesome, right? They have allowed us so many conveniences and so many ways to connect with people, and I do love it, and there are so many things that it has made my life much easier, but I often overindulge, and I spend too much time on my phone, and I do the useful things that I need it for, but then I tend to linger and use my phone for things that are not productive. And pretty soon, you guys, I will fall into that habit where I'm on Facebook for an hour, and I thought, what have I really accomplished, right? I love Facebook. I love seeing the things that are exciting, things that are happening with my friends and family. I love connecting with my business partners. But then I tend to just stay, and I don't put it away when I need to. And that's something that I'm really trying to live more intently about, is using my phone and social media for the purposes that I need them and want them for, but then putting it aside and going on and doing things that make me a better person. Okay? All right, so I want you to make your list right now. I want you to write it down, because there's power in seeing these things written in your own handwriting, and we're much more likely to move forward with this and be successful at it if we're writing them down. So I hope that you have your list in front of you. And I want you, as you're writing it down, I don't want you to put limits on yourself, okay? I want you to think bold. I want you to think that everything's a possibility, because it is. Absolutely everything is a possibility. If someone had told me 3 years ago that I was going to own my own business, that I was going to be able to live with complete financial freedom and time freedom, I would have laughed in your face. I was a teacher. I had taught for 10 years. That's what I knew. That was my safety. That was my box. My box was being a teacher. But many people in my life challenged me to think outside that box, and I'm so glad that they did, you guys, because I am living a life I never dreamed of. So don't put yourself in a box. Don't be limited by the expectations of society or the opinions of the people around you, okay? I want you to stop making decisions based on what others think. And I want you to write down, what do you want? What do you want? So here we go. This is where we start, you guys. We're doing it now, because every day, every week, every month that we delay and we just continue to do the things we've always done, we are taking away the power of our potential. We're taking away moments that we could be feeling fulfilled and happy and joyous. Because you know what? You did not wake up today to be mediocre. God did not create you and put you on this earth to be average. And Jesus Christ did not die on the cross so that you could be normal. I'm going to repeat that. Jesus Christ did not die on the cross for you to be normal. Honor that sacrifice that he made by going out there and living your best life, by taking life by the horns, by taking risks, by pushing yourself, challenging yourself to be a better person tomorrow than you were today, a better person today than you were yesterday, being the kind of person that you are proud to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Let's do this, you guys. I'm so excited, and I want to walk beside you and link arms and do this together. We were created to be triumphant, and we can do this if we do it together. I want to end by sharing this quote with you. I love it. It says, "Fear not that thy life shall come to an end, but rather fear that it shall never have a beginning." You guys, I don't want you to keep living a life where you feel like it hasn't yet begun. We're going to start now. Today is the day. If you enjoyed this video or liked what we talked about, I would super appreciate if you would like or comment below, because that would be great encouragement to me, and it would also give me direction on where we head these next 5 weeks. But I appreciate you being with me today. I'm excited to share more in the coming weeks, and I hope that you all have a blessed day.